Hello, guys. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Get Set Law. So, today we'll be discussing the weekly important current affairs. So, we are discussing the first week of the month of September, and here are the few important news. Festivals on public roads. So, we must have seen that this month is a month of festival. And when the month is of the festival, there are different festivities which are going on. And the concern has been raised before the court of law whether the different kinds of activities which are taking place on the public roads are really viable or not. Are those activities which are going on the public roads are completely legal or not? So this is the question which has been raised before the Bombay High Court. And in this regard, Bombay High Court has asked the civil authority about the different kinds of initiatives and the plannings they have taken forward to stop this issue. So they have asked the policymaker that what steps they have taken in order to formulate or in order to regulate. So this is the main concern that they have to be very cautious about regulating the public standard. So whenever we see that the festivals are going on in the public roads, it may cause disturbance to the general public, right? So recently, the festival of Janmashtami has been witnessed where a Dahi Handi, which is a very prominent festival, have been conducted on road, and it has been seen that primarily this has been celebrated in the state of Maharashtra, Goa, and Gujarat. So this is a matter which has been brought before the Bombay High Court, and they have been asked that what policy has been formed by the state government so that the celebration can be done without disrupting the uh, general public's convenience. Now, this is not only the matter about the festivals on the public road, this is applicable even with respect to the strikes and protests which we see. So, even though the strikes and protests are the fundamental right which have been given under Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution of India, but even though it is a fundamental right, the Supreme Court has said that our strikes and protests should not lead to the inconvenience of the general public. So this is the important update the Bombay High Court has uh, given to the civic authorities to take a decision in this regard. Now, why Dahi Handi festival have been brought into the news because this involves activity of forming a human pyramid, and the earthen pot is hanged at a height, and the pyramid will be formed, and one person will go and break the pot. Right. So this is a kind of festival which involves a lot of public on the road. Now, High Court has expressed concern regarding that also because multiple rallies will be taken out, multiple sound instruments will be taken out. It has been reported that DJs or the loud musics have been played up till 11, 12, 1 in the night, which is against the guideline of night 10 p.m. Suppose that we should not play the loud music speakers, right? Like DJs and all. So this is the concern regarding a celebration of the festivals on public roads because specifically in the Ganesh Chaturthi it will be witnessed that every nook and corner will have a small tent, and in that small tent they will be celebrating this festival. So the important notification has been reached out to the civic authorities that they need to bring out a policy with which the people or the devotees can also celebrate their festival. Meanwhile, there is no inconvenience for the general public. India, that is Bharat. So this is one of the most heated topic as of now that we have seen that India hosted the G20 summit. India took the presidency of the G20 summit in the last summit, and this was conducted in the New Delhi. And surprisingly, for everyone's surprise, we found that the the placard of Narendra Modi reflected Bharat instead of India, which was there last year. Now, this is a dispute which is going on. Different political contentions have been taken out, different historical insights have been given that whether India is right or whether Bharat is right. So now the opposition party is taking a toll on the government that, even in the gala dinner which have been hosted by our country, by our president, it on the invitation card it was written President of Bharat and not the president of India, which was the general trend so far. So this is a concern whether what will happen to the different names like we have Reserve Bank of India, whether it will become Reserve Bank of Bharat, Bank of India, Bank of Bharat. So there are different contentions, different issues, concerns which have been raised by the oppositions and which have been raised by the general public also. So we will try to see what the legal connotations are in this regard and what has happened in our Constitutional Assembly debate, because even in the Constitution Article 1 says that India, that is Bharat, right? So we cannot rule out the fact that this has already been discussed by our constitution makers and they have very thoughtfully inserted this article, India, that is Bharat. The roots of the Bharat can be traced back to the ancient text of the Puranas and the Mahabharata. An English translation of the volume 1, Adi Parv, mentions, we are desirous of hearing that history also called Bharat. So, a reference has been taken by the Purans and the Mahabharata, which says that which mentions the word Bharat, where the people are desirous of hearing the history of this place called Bharat. And even after independence, when the constitution makers and the constitution framers were drafting the constitution, they very carefully kept this word, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of state. So this has been added, and this says that how this the name, the usage of the name could be interchangeable, right? India, that is Bharat. So S.V. Kamath, who was a very prominent member in the Constituent Assembly, he expressed his views that India, that is Bharat, mean that India, that is to say Bharat, right? So this is somewhat looks clumsy. This does not look, very professional. So therefore, in order to make it more constitutionally sound, more professional manner, so that is why we made it India, that is Bharat. So the words are very important when the constitution is drafted, and that is why carefully they chosen this word. Even he referred to the passage of the Irish Constitution in 1937. So he wanted to demonstrate that how Irish was a free state, and one of the very few countries in the modern era who has changed their name on achieving the freedom. So it's not a big issue that if we have been called India so far and if we are going to change our name post freedom. So this is the reference he drew from the Irish Constitution, and even the matter went to the Supreme Court in 2020. So in Supreme Court, this matter was raised whether the country's official name shall be changed, and it should be officially India. It should be changed from India to Bharat. So this was the concern raised by the petitioner in the Supreme Court, and then the bench of Chief Justice of India S.A. Bobde and Justices um, A.S. Bopanna and Rishikesh Roy. So this three judges sat on the bench and they decided, they deliberated whether the name of the India shall be changed to Bharat or not, and ultimately they said that this is the task of the legislature to decide whether the name of the country shall be changed or not. And that is why they said that because the constitution already have a mention of this thing that India can also be called as a Bharat. So this is the legislative step now. So basically, petition is asking something which is, not ultra virus of the constitution. So judiciary cannot really interfere here. Rather, they have left this upon the appropriate ministry to decide whether they really want to change the name or not, because this is within the powers of the ministers, appropriate ministry, that they can change the name. So it is very interesting to see whether are we really on the transition of changing the name from India to Bharat. And as the general elections are approaching in 2024, this move could be a very big move. This could be a very big change for the party to claim it in the election. So let's see what happens in this regard. Probe on N. Chandrababu Naidu. So N. Chandrababu Naidu is the former Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, and a probe has been set up against him. So special court in the Vijayawada, they were hearing the case, and this case was initiated by the Anti-Corruption Bureau. Now there has been a prima facie case established against him regarding the cheating, criminal breach of trust, forgery, and corruption. So these were the multiple charges put up by the ACB, and the matter went to the special court in Vijayawada. So now this charges were framed against Chandrababu Naidu, which was in connection with the skill development program scam case. So there were certain amount which have been allocated for this program, which was reported to be 371 crore rupees. So out of this 371 crore rupees, the ACB claimed that when Chandrababu Naidu was in the power, when he was the chief minister, he engaged in the criminal conspiracy and he misappropriated the government fund. And they put up a charge that he misappropriated the amount of 297. He misappropriated the amount of 297 crore rupees out of 371. So thereafter, ACB also put up a revised petition, and they said that at least 241 crore have been misappropriated. So this is not something new, and even previously also multiple chief ministers have been accused of this thing, that they have misappropriated the money from the government fund. So whenever any government schemes come into the picture, they take money from the central government and it has been misappropriated. Like it has been claimed in the 2G scam case, that 1,000 crore scam have been came into limelight, right? When the Chidambaram had been into the picture. So that is why it is very important to keep a check and balance, right? So it is very important that multiple auditing shall happen for the different kinds of implementation which has taken forward by the different ministries, so that a report can show whether the money has been misappropriated or not, because this money is nothing but the hard-earned money of the taxpayers, and these are going into the pockets of the multiple politicians. So proper check and balance is very important as it happens in the Germany, and it will help in ensuring the accountability of the ministers. NGT issues notice to West Bengal. So NGT is a National Green Tribunal, and National Green Tribunal has sought responses from several authorities in the West Bengal regarding the pollution of River Ganga. So Ganga River flows in West Bengal, and a different eateries have been operated by the Havra railway station. And if anyone has been into Kolkata, you must have seen the close connection between the railway station and the river Ganga. So this was the problem, that multiple eateries have been opened by the operating at the Havra railway station, and that is creating pollution, right? By discharging different affluents in the river, and this is causing uh, great pollution. So the application sought, a petition has been filed. They sought the direction to the respondents. So the respondents here are the West Bengal authorities, and they have asked the court that they shall take a proper action, so that the river Ganga shall be kept clean. So they have said that they also are seeking a direction to ensure that all the drains and which are discharging waste from the establishment shall be connected to the nearest sewage treatment plant. So different sewage treatment plant have been established with the help of which we can manage the different kinds of effluents coming in the river, and we can save it from the pollution. So this was all for today. This was all the important legal news for this week, and see you in the next video. Thank you.